Hello and welcome to OffBlueMedical. Today we will discuss cytochrome P450 interactions for the USMLE Step 1, Step 2 and Step 3. So the cytochrome P450 enzymes are located in the liver and they act as the body's main center for metabolizing and making drugs go away, and they detoxify drugs. So sometimes you might take a drug that is metabolized by cytochrome P450, so its levels are affected by cytochrome P450 that is located in the liver. For example, warfarin, theophylline, antiepileptics, and oral contraceptive pills. Now, of course, not all drugs are going to be affected by CYP450, but here are some of the most important ones, such as warfarin, theophylline, antiepileptics, and oral contraceptive pills. And this is very important as well, oral contraceptive pills. So, if the cytochrome P450 enzymes are a lot, if we induce them, then we're going to have a lot of enzymes that can metabolize drugs, and that means these drugs levels will go down. On the other hand, if the cytochrome P450 enzyme levels are down, then that means the body is not able to metabolize or process or detoxify these drugs. So that means if CYP450 levels are down, if they are inhibited, then that means warfarin will go up, theophylline will go up, antiepileptics will go up, and oral contraceptive pills will go up. So sometimes you might take warfarin with another medication that inhibits CYP450, and that means warfarin levels will go up. And we need to know the cytochrome P450 inducers and inhibitors. And there are a lot of ways to remember this, but my way is to associate each word with the inducer or the inhibitor mechanism. So for example, St. John's wort, just imagine St. John as somebody who is muscular and works out. So they make the liver strong and hyperactive. So because St. John works out, it makes the liver strong and hyperactive, so it's going to burn through medications. So that means the liver is going to be massive and big, cytochrome P450 levels are going to be a lot, and that means the drug levels will go down for other drugs such as warfarin and oral contraceptive pills. The other ones is phenytoin and phenobarbital. Both of these have something similar, which is going to be phenytoin and phenobarbital. And the word phen sounds like fans. So when you have a lot of fans, they might have what? They might have hate towards you. They might hate you when you have fans, such as phenytoin and phenobarbital. They are fans of you, yes, but they might hate you. And when they hate you, they don't want you to go to the top. That means they don't want you to be a lot. That means these are inducers and they will make your drug levels go down. We also have modafinil. So this modafinil to me sounds like mode final. Modafinil to me sounds like mode final. You can imagine this as a final boss. It's going to put the liver into the final boss mode, and it's going to make the liver very strong, and it's going to destroy every substrate and every drug in its path. The other one is nevirapine. Nevirapine means never at the peak. Never at the peak. Never being at the peak means your drug levels are never going to be high. That means they are going to be low. And there's one low yield drug interaction that is a CYP450 inducer you also have to know. That is ginseng. Okay, ginseng is low yield, but you also need to know this. So ginseng starts with a G and ends with a G. So it's like being in a game and saying GG, good game. Because your drug levels are going to be defeated. They are going to be down. Now another one is rifampin. Rifampin to me sounds like a rifle, and when you have rifle, you can shoot down the drug levels. Griseofulvin, that's like greasing the wheels of an engine, of a car, or greasing the engine of a car. When you grease the engine of a car, the car is going to be better, it's going to be enhanced, it's going to be induced, and everything is going to be fast, and the drug levels are going to be down because the car is working well, it's burning through drugs. We also have carbamazepine, and this carbamazepine is like a car. So you grease the car with greaseophulvin, and now you boot up the car, you get into the car, that is carbamazepine. Carbamazepine also sounds like car goes beep beep, like a fast car speeding through the liver. You also have to know that this is an autoinducer, where carbamazepine is going to induce its own metabolization. So after 2 or 3 weeks of initiation, you need to increase the dose of carbamazepine. This is also another low yield point that might come up in the exams because it's tricky. And chronic alcohol overuse is also going to be a CYP450 inducer, whereas acute alcohol overuse is going to be an inhibitor, because chronic, that's like making the liver get used to alcohol, so it's going to be an inducer, not an inhibitor. The CYP450 inhibitors, that means the drug levels will go up. So think that the drug inhibits the liver, so other drugs are going to pile up, just like a traffic jam. So the drug concentrations of warfarin, theophylline are going to go up if you take these drugs. So to get started with these, we have to remember the first one and the most popular one is grapefruit juice. Okay? The grapefruit juice, sometimes people think if you take medications you cannot take grapefruit juice because it inhibits CYP450, and when it inhibits that, drug levels are going to go up. That's the first one you need to know. It's very important and it's very popular. Same with it is cranberry juice as well. And also, now we have sodium valproate. Sodium valproate sounds like value added. Valproate, value added. So value added means your value of the drug is going to go up because we just added value. And that means that it's an inhibitor because the value of the drug that we just took goes up. Another one is isoniazid. Isoniazid has the 3 letters, which is iso. Iso means equal or same. That means the drug is not going to go down. So if it doesn't go down, it's going to stay equal or it's going to go up. So isoniazid, that's a CYP450 inhibitor. The other one is cimetidine. That's like cement. So it's going to turn the liver into cement and the liver won't work, so drug concentrations are going to go up. The other ones are the azoles, which is ketoconazole and fluconazole. You have to know these are CYP450 inhibitors, and these are very important. So the ending, which is azole, sounds like a halt. Azole, a halt. So everything's going to be halted at the liver. So everything's going to stop at the liver. The other one is acute alcohol overuse, and we already discussed this. Acute alcohol overuse is going to overwhelm the liver, and the liver will not work, so that's going to be a CYP450 inhibitor. But if it's chronic alcohol overuse, then that's going to be a CYP450 inducer. The other one that we have is chloramphenicol, and chloramphenicol sounds like clog amphenicol, so it's going to clog the liver's machinery. So when the drain is clogged, the drug levels are going to rise. The other one that we have also is erythromycin and clarithromycin, which are the macrolides, and you also have to know the sulfonamide, which is trimethoprim sulfamethoxazole. These are very, very important, and you have to remember these. So erythromycin sounds like empty thromycin. Erythromycin, empty thromycin, so it's going to leave the enzymes empty, so they are not going to work, they cannot do their job, and then the drug concentrations are going to go up. And you also have to focus a lot on the macrolides, which are erythromycin, clarithromycin, and also the sulfonamides, which is trimethoprim and sulfamethoxazole, because these are very, very important for the USMLE, and these are very, very high yield: erythromycin, clarithromycin, and sulfonamides. The other one that we have is ciprofloxacin. Ciprofloxacin has the word pro. When you take it, you're going to be a pro. Everything is going to go up. When you are a professional, everything is going to go up. So ciprofloxacin, pro. Omeprazole. Omeprazole is also like ketoconazole and fluconazole, so it also ends in azole. Azole means a halt. A halt at the liver means the liver will not work, and that means the drug concentrations are going to go up. Amiodarone kind of sounds like, am I too much? Am I odorone? Am I too much? And when you say am I too much, then that means you as a drug concentration is too much. You are too much. Amiodarone, am I too much? That means the drug concentrations are up because you are taking a CYP450 inhibitor such as amiodarone. Ritonavir, you are responding to amiodarone. Amiodarone is saying, am I too much? Amiodarone, and you are saying ritonavir. Right. Ritonavir. Right, you are too much. So ritonavir means right, you are too much, because you, as a drug concentration, are too much. So ritonavir is a CYP450 inhibitor. The other ones, such as quinidine, means a queen. And when you are a queen, or when you have a queen, you are too much. For example, in chess, when you play chess, if you have a queen, the queen is very powerful. And when you are very powerful, that means you, as a drug concentration, are going to be very powerful. You're going to be a lot. You're going to be too much. Metronidazole, this also ends in azole. So a halt to the liver enzymes, and the liver will not work. Then you have fluoxetine and other SSRIs. Fluoxetine, how can you remember this? And it's the most important and a very popular drug. Fluoxetine, you have the flu. When you have the flu, your liver will not work, and that means the drug concentrations are going to go up, as well as with other SSRIs such as escitalopram and etc. We also have saquinavir, which sacks the liver, is going to fire the liver workers, which are the enzymes, so the liver will not be able to process drugs. So drug concentrations are going to go up, saquinavir. We also have cobicistat, and you have to know that ritonavir and cobicistat are related. I'll tell you in a moment, but first off, cobicistat is static. It's going to make the liver static. Static means no movement. It's going to make the metabolic rate static, which is zero. It's going to cause the drug levels to pile up. And you have to know that clinically this drug is actually designed to be an inhibitor to boost HIV medications, along with ritonavir. So ritonavir and also cobicistat. We also have ginkgo biloba. Ginkgo biloba reminds me of the word jink, slow. Jink, go, it doesn't actually go. It's going to be slow. So it forces the enzymes to go slow, means the drugs in your system will stay high, and they are going to be dangerous. Now vitamin E is going to make the liver take it easy. When the liver is taking it easy and relaxing, it's not actually working to break down drugs. You can also remember this with vitamin E means vitamin excess. Vitamin excess. And that means excess levels of drugs in the blood. Terbinafine, with terbinafine, and you also have to know that with terbinafine, it is specifically a CYP2D6 inhibitor. 2D6 inhibitor. Terbinafine, so think of a turbine, which is the engine of metabolism. Terbinafine means turbine off. Terbinafine, turbine off. When the turbine stops spinning, metabolism is going to stop, and that means the drug concentrations are going to go up. And you have to know it's the 2D6 turbine, or it's going to be a CYP2D6 inhibitor. And NSAIDs, which are the last group of drugs. NSAIDs means no slide aids. No slide aids. Or N stops aiding. N stops aiding. So the liver needs help. It needs aid to break down drugs. NSAIDs, N stops aiding. N stops aiding. Or you can also remember this with the other mnemonic which I just gave you, which is no slide aids. So the drugs can no longer slide through the liver smoothly, they get backed up. So you have to remember these for the USMLE, and these are very, very important. And just focus on a couple of these, which are the azole drugs, also isoniazid, and erythromycin, and sulfonamides, which are trimethoprim, sulfamethoxazole. So how can this come up in the exam? They might say a female is taking, for example, oral contraceptive pills for contraception, and now she has an unwanted pregnancy. She's also taking other medications. She's also taking other medications. Let me demonstrate this. For example, she might be taking rifampin for treatment of tuberculosis. Now, what could have caused her oral contraceptive pills to not work? It's because of this drug. And this is how it can come up in the USMLE. It's going to ask you why is it not working, and you can answer with rifampin.